Are you a mom that's struggling with the deep grief, guilt, and loss due to the estrangement with your adult child? I want you to know that you're not alone in this. And in this video, I want to show you how to navigate the emotional toll, set some healthy personal limits, and most of all, find healing through some rediscovery of yourself. I know this is how you're feeling because grief is huge and it's profound. And so let's start there. Grief and loss, profound grief that goes way beyond losing contact with a child. And many of you have had, expectations of this lifelong connection, mutual respect, love. Like we all assume we're going to have that, right? But when estrangement happens, we're mourning not only the relationship, as if that's not bad enough, but we're also mourning the dreams of what could have been. And it's important for you to recognize that grief is a natural response. In fact, I would wonder what's up with you if you weren't grieving. I don't know that I've ever met a mom that did not go through the grief process. And so it's just a natural response to such a deep emotional loss. So I want you to know it's normal. You're not alone. I want you also to remember that you have to give yourself permission to sit in it without staying in it. So we don't need to feel like we have to move through this super quickly. Grief comes in waves. And so it's normal to feel the pain again and again as certain memories or milestones come up. So don't be surprised if a person, a place, a date, a holiday, an event triggers you for a while, and that's very normal. And then you're going to feel like you're starting the grief process all over again. Number 2 is navigating guilt. That's another thing that you're probably feeling, questioning whether you failed in some way. Could I have prevented this estrangement? But guilt is compounded not only what we do to ourselves, but also what society is telling us. A good mother would always maintain that relationship with her child, or a good mother wouldn't allow all of this disrespect. But I want you to remember also that relationships involve two people. And so sometimes these personal limits need to be set for emotional safety. Sometimes it's physical safety, unfortunately. Sometimes it's even that extreme. So let's say, for example, you're replaying in your mind constantly, what did I do wrong? Or the woulda, coulda, shoulda. Could I have done more? Should I have not gotten divorced? All of this started after I got divorced. What I don't want you to do is doubt your entire parenting approach. We do the best we can with what we know. Parenting does not come with a manual. We all know that. And it's easy to say it, but truly, you have to remember, you do the best you can with what you have. And your children, when they have their own kids, they're going to do the best they can with what they have. So it's just really important to remember that even though society is throwing certain things at us, social media is throwing things at us, we need to keep relationships intact, but not at the cost of our own well-being. And so I just want to encourage you, if that's you, we need to release some of that guilt, recognizing that a healthy relationship can't be one-sided. None of them can be. And sometimes stepping away just a little bit for a short period of time is the best choice for both of you. Now, I am not a proponent of long-term stepping away because it doesn't solve the problem, right? I want to share something with you real quick. I have some exciting news to share. I'm launching a brand new weekly newsletter where I'm going to be sharing some tips and some insights and, most importantly, real stories from moms just like you who are on this journey of estrangement, or maybe you're in the process of reconciliation, or maybe you're brand new to this and you're just watching this video for the first time thinking, what in the world am I getting into? I want to hear from you. I want to know whether you have that breakthrough moment or if you're in the middle of a challenge that you're facing, a specific challenge. Your story can remain anonymous. You can use your name, whatever you want to do. It's completely up to you. But to submit your story, just check out the link in the description below and share your story. The newsletter is going to be coming out in a couple weeks. So I look forward to reading your stories and then just choosing one for each week. You're going to be able to inspire others as well and help moms who are on a similar path. So I look forward to all of that. Number 3 is estrangement is not black and white. I think sometimes we think it is, but guess what? It's rarely one moment or one argument that leads to the breakdown. It's rather a buildup of issues over time, whether that's misunderstandings, conflicting values, emotional hurts, or even unresolved conflicts, which is a lot of the time. So all of that adds to the emotional weight because there's no easy answer or quick fix. And so if we were fixing things as we went along, that would be ideal, but life doesn't always work that way. And so we have to remember we can't go back, so we can only move forward. So you may recall countless attempts at reconnecting, reaching out, trying to apologize, trying to fix things, and maybe you're being met with rejection or continued conflict. So then you've got anger for the hurt caused, and then you've got confusion about where things went wrong. And so you're just playing these cycles over and over and over. The sadness over the distance. There's just so many things that are on this crazy cycle is where we find ourselves. It's a cycle that somebody has to break. I don't want you to think that everything you did was wrong just because your child is approaching you saying, you're being too controlling, or you divorced my dad and so now you're the most horrible mother. Like all of these things, that's on your child in situations like that. You can only do what you can do to help in those situations. And so one conversation with their dad, for example, isn't going to persuade your daughter or son to walk away from you. It's time again and again and again. And we need to know that we need to be able to sit in some of these, but not too long. This journey has so many layers, and that's why number 4 is setting personal limits. At some point you realize, I need to set some limits in my own life to keep me sane. And in a lot of your cases, the relationships are toxic. Maybe there's manipulation, there's disrespect, emotional abuse. Setting personal limits is crucial. It's crucial for protecting your mental health, for breaking these unhealthy cycles of conflict. So boundaries can help you, right? I like to call it personal limits because the word boundaries is overused and kind of a triggering word for a lot of people these days. So setting personal limits, giving yourself some space to heal. So if let's say you were always available financially or emotionally and you did everything for your child, they may be taking advantage of you and your kindness without showing any appreciation. And if that son or daughter continually manipulates you into giving money or, despite promises to change, I'm going to pay you back, I'm going to do this, I'm going to do that, constantly, it's time for you to make some changes. Only you can make that change. I'm going to love you right where you're at. If I'm working with you, we're going to go towards change. But the first person we need to change is you. And a lot of you don't want to look in the mirror at that because you think it's all your child that's having the problem. But you get to control you. And I promise you, you are going to come out of this estrangement a stronger person. If you do the work, you're going to come out stronger, healthier, and it's going to be an opportunity for healing. And lastly, the healing from estrangement saved my life. It requires so much more than time. It requires self-compassion and a conscious effort to reconnect with yourself outside of being a mom. And many moms find that their identity has been so closely tied to their role as a mom, like that's all you cared about. I'm not saying it wasn't my most important job, raising my kids. I just want you to know that you're more than a mom. And I look forward to hopefully being able to help each and every one of you kind of dive into what your purpose is. Because when there's two people in a relationship and you can only control you, that's where the change happens. And God can meet you right where you're at. And so I look forward to hearing from you guys. I look forward to receiving your stories. I'll see you in the next video. God bless.